one now as we have the first quarterfinal of
Reaper on the way across to get some scouting information and have a look around.
Mothership core, even voting over to whoa! All right, Reaper, you're getting no information aside from the Nexus. Not allowed it in towards the back at all.
That is very good for stats because now Maru has to keep on guessing, and immediately after he actually starts a robo economic damage.
A little bit wary and worried with that Widow Mine. Just
Very
making
quickly,
sure
usually a lot of the time what happens is that like one of the two players spots that the other one set it for their base and they end up playing defensive.
Is it easy just like wary as a whole? Like kind of scared that Stats is going to be doing something a bit more aggressive with that blinker kind of play, but these Widow Mines already burrowing him. There is an observer there, so we'll be able to clean it up quite quickly.
God. That was such sick defense here.
Yeah.
Really
Very
not
well
losing anything.
out.
He's actually warping in Stalkers instead of Adepts. I was fully expecting it to be Adepts because he made a Prism, but that tank is going to come in really handy, and there's a second one on the way now for Maru, so it's kind of as if like he was yourself do a siege attack.
And behind all of this, Stats is grabbing himself his Robo Bait to try and rile the siege tanks here.
It's very important for Maru to react quickly to this, send exactly enough units than he needs to do with these Adepts, because there's going to be a lot more warped in a second. He's still on 3 gateways, I believe.
Oh.
And those Stalkers at the front are actually going to engage into those tanks.
Yeah, get a siege tank already there. The SCV's come off the line, realizing he had to take all of his Marines
Whoa.
back to try and deal with the Warp Prism. This one siege tank, repair! Oh, it's going down so low. That Stalker will not finish it off. And he's trying to clean things up, but he lost 12 SCVs during that attack.
Yeah, left over. 4 stats, and that third base is going to be the target.
Makes it a little easier for the Terran to assault against these kind of Colossi numbers. Thermal Lances is complete. Combat Shield's about to finish up as well, but already you can see he does know that those Widow Mines are burrowed in that location.
I think the Observer's not there.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it is. It can't. I mean, it mustn't be there at the moment. He's dropped the scan, trying to reveal it, and
Stats must be getting some flashbacks from when he played Innovation on this map, and Liberation zones were set up all around his base, and he felt like he could never take a fight. Right now, he's kind of feeling like the same thing. He has a lot, though.
Yeah, so that bio went a little bit further forwards there and actually got some shots off from the Colossus, so it's a bit of a treacherous position. A lot of the Stalkers are dying on the left-hand side thanks to the Marauders doing so much damage. He kills one of the siege tanks off, and that's a good start to stop this from hitting the third.
Great defense so far out of Stats. Like, he's not out of the woods just yet. Maru's going to pull back and regroup a little bit. He's going to attack all over the place. Liberator in some bases, Medivac drops in others, and try and do some economic damage while he keeps on macroing properly at the same time.
Yeah, at least the Warp Prism spotted this for the most part, so you just see
he goes for it!
Down, but he's going to drop it anyway with the Liberation Zone as well. Is he going to focus down the Colossus? He's trying, but he's not really doing too much against it. He was just going for some of the ground units aside from the Colossus, and now without many more gateway units there, he's just going to have to abandon for the moment because the Colossus did so much damage.
Nice trade here, I think, for Maru, like to be able to get some Colossus like this.
Cleaning up the Widow Mines.
Yeah, actually that's super annoying. There's only one observer. He tries to go for another Colossus here on the left-hand side. He is actually going to be able to trade against it and get it.
That's big, getting almost a second one as well there.
Kind of needed that. If you can completely reset the Colossus count, usually you're doing something right, especially since Maru is one of those guys that kind of refuses to make Vikings, remember. Like a lot of the time, he's just going to completely skip them altogether.
And trying to just get a snipe or two with these Marauders, but pays for the price of it. Ooh, trying to dodge the Disruptor shot, but it doesn't really matter anyway.
Maru, it's very easy to overextend in these situations. Like if he thinks, like even earlier, dropping on top of the army that was already in position, that was kind of bad. And now Disruptor shots moving in there.
Picks up, he loses 2 Widow Mines with that, but at the same time now, those 3 Disruptors are out of shots, so he will have to try and deal with some of the more Warpins. It should be an okay defense here for Stats once again. He's doing so well.
That bought enough time for him for the Stalkers to come back, and now Stats, actually this might be one of the time when you get rid of 3 Medivacs and all of those units, it's very encouraging greatly, during which he's going to have a lot of Stalkers and Colossus before they start on becoming worth against potential huge amount of Vikings or Liberators.
At least some of the moment these Liberators will be able to lock down this location. He stims up and he's going to go for this fight. There's only one Colossus there.
This is so good by Maru. He realized a huge chunk of the army of Stats was missing.
Yeah, and he's actually going to focus down the Colossi as well here. This is good for him, although a Disruptor shot on the right-hand side catches a few of those Marauders. Another one's going to come in. There isn't that much bio left on the ground. It's all about those Liberators doing damage. If Stats stays out of those, he could kill off some of this army. Warping in as well. Liberators have to reposition, but he's going to try and focus them down now, knowing that that's some of the big chunks of the damage. The Marauders still dishing out a lot here. It's so close, so down to the wire, but he lost all of his Liberators in the process.
What a trade this is here to get a game like this as game 1 of the best-of-5 series between those two. Maru engaging early on before the rest of the army of Stats was there, knowing that this was the right thing to do, but they just end up trading it. As much as he killed the Colossi, there's still a couple disruptors left over. All Stat has to do is reinforce, stay outside of the range of the Liberators, and spam up some of those disruptor shots, but he actually goes forward, and he's going to try to finish the game.
Yeah, just got to blink back some of these Stalkers here. The SCV is going to war as well. There's 10 already gone down, pulling off even more. He knows he's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have that many Marauders as well as Marines left. Plus 2 weapons is just about to finish up as well, and he's even trying to kill off as many of the Stalkers as he can, but I don't know if it's going to work out. There's more Warpins coming along. The Adepts reinforcing. The Marauders and Marines are running for their lives.
Both of them are playing so good. Stat with the attack makes it work somehow anyway, and it's looking like he may be able to close this out here. He's starting to pull very far ahead. His supply 60 probes to 33 SCVs. He can just snowball out of control on the unit count here. 2
more Liberators setting up here to try and push this away. Somehow, some way, the Marines and Marauders have pushed back these Stalkers for now, despite the time warp, despite the pursuit of those Adepts as well. Here come Liberation Zones again. Disruption shot doesn't quite connect. Another one tries to come in. Maru just microing as much as possible. Kills off the Disruptor. Is he going to hold against the Stalkers?
Okay, Maru is the sickest dodgeball player of all time.
If he'd have lost some of those medevacs there, that could have almost been lights out for Maru. He had so much invested in that army. And now, +3 armor is on the way with Colossus production starting again.
Yeah, Maru needs to camp, but I think Stas might go for it. Like, he knows that he's well set up on 4 bases. He's going to blink forward, get one of those Liberators before the fight even begins.
Perfect, but at the same time, some of those Adepts in the back of Stas' army aren't really doing anything during that small skirmish, so he's got to be careful about his positioning of this army if he wants to take these fights.
It's actually very hard to justify blinking into this. The fact that Liberator was used prior to the fight even happening now is even more discouraging for Stats to go for it, but Stats got Maru on lockdown here. He doesn't even need to fight. He can just maybe expand even one more time, but then the only threat for him would be a counter drop, which, guess what? That's Maru's specialty.
And he goes. He is off with 2 medevacs over to the left-hand side.
Oh, and Maru keeps... that's so smart. He keeps on scanning the army of Stats to see if he pulls back, if he has everything there. He sees him pulling back now, so he's just gonna... Does he slow down and come back to defend? He might set up right behind to try and get a
sick flank.
2-side flank.
Yeah, that would be good. From the north and the south, it would be great. But for now, Stats here, just positioning towards the middle.
He's actually going to counter-attack on the left-hand side. I see those medivacs setting up for a big drop.
Pylon spots things out as well. Going to blink forward here, realizing there's a chunk of the army on the left-hand side. Kills off some of the Liberators. The Adepts really need to get in the fight, but at the same time, there isn't enough bio here at all to stem the tide that we're seeing here from Stats. Blinks forward, kills off the medevacs as well.
Stats has too much.
Stats getting the chokehold on towards Maru here, down towards the bottom. He's losing probes to the top, but Maru has lost everything at home. GG, game number 1 goes to Stats. Game number 2, it seems like here, and we're going to be on Vanny Research Station between these 2 players. Nice choice here, but Stats.
Cheeky.
He's channeling.
Right. Maru's close to the giant player. Not only it's proxied on the map, but it's basically right outside his base. Like, Oracle will fly in there so early. Maru is going to find this not super early, but early enough that he can know, like you can't really snipe the pylon and completely defend this. Like, obviously the Oracle will almost always come out. He's not even gonna try and attack that pylon. Void Race and Adepts busting in there. And usually what you do is you make a lot of Adepts, or even it depends if you want to go Adepts or Stalkers. Like, it's different ways to play with this. I wonder if Maru is able to sense that coming or not.
I'm super excited to see if this is going to actually work, because this used to be one of my favorite things to do when I was playing Protoss.
Against a Terran who has to wall on the map like this, it's gonna be very easy to bust the wall down. 3 more gates. Okay, I think it might be Adepts. So you kill the depot and then you shade the Adepts in. Or if you want to go Stalkers, then you just kill the depot all alike, and then you shoot at the barracks from down there. You force it back. Actually, you don't want to lose that Oracle.
He wants to reinforce.
But he's still on so many gateways that he's going to get them... oh, he loses the Oracle. Nice pick off here by Maru.
Still doesn't know that this attack is coming at the moment. He sees the pylon at the front. And I mean, that pylon is a pretty good indicator that maybe something aggressive is coming.
Oh, it's a massive steal. And Stats it's so funny because he was kind of playing to the image of that build. Like, you see an Oracle and a Proxy target, you think there's going to be a quick third, but no, he actually wants to bust you. And he was also hoping, I think, that Maru would have gone for a quick third command center, in which case he would have had less units than now.
Going to try to take this fight as quickly as possible, pick some Geddets out of there, knowing that it will be on lockdown with those force fields, but 2 Vikings are in production. If they can get out here, they can potentially shut down a lot of the Void Rave air dominance here that we're seeing.
This is going to supply block him, though. This is a big deal here. Maru needs to stall a lot of depot right now. The barracks is going to go down in hit points super fast. He's going to try and repair the last second. Those Widow Mines obviously going to give him a good shot at buying a little bit of time, but once that Oracle is out, it's going to go there, reveal everything, and he's going to snipe them.
Exactly, that's why that Oracle dying off early was such an important thing here. Trying to maybe back off there for a moment, drop down that Revelation. Ooh,
and I feel like
close.
Stats is probably not even going to transition. Like, you can hardly transition out of this. Like, if you start taking a turn now, then you're exposed to medivac drops happening all over the place. Maru is being so... I love this. Look at his turrets. Perfect placements. Medivacs and turrets on top of it. Like, for Stats to engage into this is an absolute nightmare. He's actually making the most of it and sniping a Widowmine here somehow.
Shades forwards, maybe having a look around where this is. Actually throws up the Guardian Shield and goes up the ramp as well here. He's trying to bust this down. The missile turret's already ended up going down as the Vikings are still doing good damage here to these Void Rays. And the Guardian Shield has gone now, so they're not soaking up that much damage from the Marines. Adepts at the front killing off a lot of Marines. How many Marines are left, actually? There's only 5 Marines left here, Todd.
Yeah, Maru lost so much, but if he's able to hold there somehow, even if he loses a lot of SCVs, he might be able to survive and live on in this game. But this is killing so much, and remember, Stats gonna reinforce 7 units by 7 with all these gateways.
7 Adepts came in just at the right time here. The Widowmine actually pops underneath them, but I don't know if it's enough here. 24 SCVs have gone down, 25. The bunker never finished at the front here as well by the looks of things. And with that actually being down here, he's just gonna kill off so much. There's only 16 SCVs left, Todd, against 40 behind us for Stats.
Yeah, I think Stats has done it. Maru, I think he might have thought that Stats maybe will transition or attack later. He thought that he was safe enough. He kind of misread the army. And G fuel. Tab as well for a little bit too much.
All right, game at number 3, and Maru.
I'm gonna kill you with my gateways from now, and made mass blink stalkers, went forward inversion and generation. He's like deadlier.
Does that mean he's the new IEM king? Is he going all the way?
Actually, maybe.
Yeah. He's taking up the mantle with Hero going out in the round of 16.
Maybe a little bit premature. Doesn't see either unit yet. Like, he sees the initial adept that you get early on, but that's not a big tell on whether it's going to be counter-attacking. Like, I'm worried for Maru because so far he hasn't been reacting more often than not. Like, if his Stats wanted to go for a crazy MC-esque 2-base Colossus, he could go for that. But with the way Maru has been playing, I don't think he would be very good because Maru's been getting tanks, he's been getting Liberators, and defensively, those are great.
And wants to clear out his third here as well. And that medevac did see these Stalkers, so just didn't want to poke in at all. A little bit wary as well. If it had gone any further, it could have been blinked
And if he has to fight, just this deals very well with anything Terran can throw at you early on.
Great little angle here. I mean, he's not going to get much. Actually, 3 is definitely better than the 1 that was tried to bait out there from Stats.
Stats kill everything though, that's nice.
Yeah,
I think Stats can consistently threaten with the shade. And make sure he keeps... remember, like, there is no more tanky back, right? Like, you cannot pick up and evacuate.
Just going to try and put some damage.
Which actually encourages Stats to go for this fight.
And actually, I think he killed off one of those siege tanks. And the second one very fast. The siege tanks were focusing on the Adepts there, so really didn't do too much against his full army. The Colossus will macro back for a moment while the drop on the right-hand side was pushed back. He blinks forwards. Will he get it? Oh, no, barely doesn't get that. He had so many units in as well.
Yeah, and there were just enough Stalkers on the natural to make sure that nothing could be dropped here, like Maru's massive army. And I think that's the right move because Maru staying on 2 bases this long means that this is the moment in the game where he's going to have way more army supply, and usually he's going to try to go for the kill, especially as I think he might be getting a little bit desperate. He's down 0-2. None of his attacks have worked. This really encourages him to go even harder for the attack, but Stats is going to stay patient.
Yeah, with those Widowmines being cleaned up and he lost no units during all of that as well, I think he's in a good position as well. There's still Stalkers ready to greet the drop, and now Maru is going to be sweating.
The immovable object, man.
Yeah. He's covering every single base. This is very difficult for Maru now. He has to be really, really careful about how he approaches this.
I don't know if he has something in the main base. Oh, I mean, overcharge is there. Like, actually, he doesn't react to this one. Whoa!
Not bad. Didn't get much. Leaves 2 probes there. Nicely done. He has pushed back the army towards that middle position, and that drop still didn't get anything done. Oh, this is desperation incarnate. Just trying.
Maru, but what's missing is enough disruptors to make sure that the bio is going to be, I guess, safer or more cost-effective on the ground. So that here right now are trying to do some damage. Look at the way the Terran army, by the way, is kind of stuck in there. He's going to use those disruptors very nicely here to try and blow up some of these units.
He needs medevacs to pick up some of those units, otherwise he is just going to bleed off some. And those Marauders getting a little bit feisty at the front. Calm down, fellas.
You never want to fight against Liberators already set up. Like, if they're already set up and you're looking at a lot of Liberation zones, you never want to attack into that. So you counter-attack maybe, you buy time if you need to, and you just get to Tempest, really.
Yes,
Yeah,
location, because he knows with the army that he's got, if Tempests are eventually going to come out, then there is a timer above his head. Disruption.
Both players know exactly what's happening there. Stats knows that this is the strong timing of Maru, and Maru knows that there are probably Tempests on the way, so he needs to hit right now and get a very cost-effective fight.
He's losing quite a few units as well to those Purification Novas from the Disruptors, so he's got to be careful here, does Maru. He can't overstay his welcome. Again, he will bleed out quite a few of these units.
How is there so little Disruptors? Liberators?
No, I think, again, he was focusing on some of the...
Oh,
Viking
they're
units.
there. They're misrallied.
Oh, what are they doing?
I was like, there's supposed to be more there.
Yeah.
And quite a few Vikings, though, available, though.
So slowly leapfrog forward even further.
But you need to get rid of this ground army. Like, if you look at the Stalker counts and you compare it to the Liberator amounts, like these Stalkers, especially if they are targeted by Bio as well, they will die super fast, and then you have nothing left over to fight against the Liberators. This is what Maru is counting for.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't think he's in a bad position. That siege is great. I feel like
He's been very patient about this as well, so he's not doing too badly, but everything is envisioned now here for the Protoss. Just gotta be careful about this. He knows exactly where these units are going to be moving. Maru just dancing back and forth against these Purification Novas, and Stats still kind of weathering the storm.
if you didn't know, the Protoss versus Terran dance. This is it.
This is it.
Back and forth.
Yeah. That Ro8 versus Ro8 in ZVZ, this is the equivalent.
And like some sort of psionic salsa.
Psionic salsa? I can't believe. Oh my
There
God.
are a lot of liberation zones now, though. Ooh. Might have to get out of there. Like, Maru either has to attack into this or pull back, because otherwise he's going to keep on losing units. Stats being super patient. He chooses the first option here, moves forward, but he's pushed back.
He wants the base, and will he go for try and save it? He's got another fort base setting up on the left-hand side. He does sacrifice this one. Doesn't go in too far. Trying to blink forwards for Liberators. Doesn't get either of the ones that he was focusing. And that's got to be a little bit of a win there for Maru.
Actually, yeah, a big win. He scans immediately the auto base, sees that it's finished, but there is no saturation there. And with that 3-3 about to finish, like Maru, this game has played just sitting there in the liberation zone, sniping through these buildings, forcing Protoss to... And I mean, stats all alike. Like, as much as he lost his base, he played this super well. He used Purification Nova to snipe some of these units, waited for the Tempest. He never engaged and overextended, because otherwise he would have lost instantly. He just couldn't attack into this army.
Ghost Academy's on the way as well behind this here for Maru, as it's a mirror image of what we just saw on the other side. Just trying to focus down this position. I think he killed off one of his own units there as well to try and get more Tempest. Reproducing them, blinks forwards once again on towards that left-hand side.
Yeah, Maru needs to stop steaming everything, especially against Disruptors.
Yeah.
If you steam everything, it means you want to go for the fight, but against Disruptors that have Purification Novas available, you can't steam everything and run in there and fight, because otherwise your army is going to get blown up to pieces. So he should steam just a few units, fake that he's going for the fight, let Stats use his Purification Nova, and that's how you do the 10, right?
17 Vikings out for the Terran at the moment. So there's Colossi and Tempest, but I mean, Tempest are getting good shots off when everything is...
He's going to go for it here in a second.
Yeah.
Maru, as soon as he maxes out here, if he's really push comes to shove, ideally he'd like to engage from multiple sides. So it's actually a very scary position here for Stats to be in on the high grounds, where when you can get engaged on multiple sides into.
He has Dark Templars mixed in with the army as well.
There we go.
He's going to actually try and go for this as well. He actually focuses down one of the Disruptors that didn't have the Purification Nova trigger off on that left-hand side. Vikings focusing down those Tempests very, very quickly, and even not bothering with the Colossi. They'll leave those till later, because the Bio Army on the ground is absolutely rerouting
This is what I was
Stats.
telling you, Stats, it feels like he wanted to get engaged into here by standing on a high ground like this, where with multiple ramps that he could get attacked from.
Oh, there's no way you're going to be able to deal with that kind of power here. Maru has played an absolute fantastic game here in game number 3 to keep his hopes alive against this. Nothing left here for Stats. He has some economy left, but beyond that, nothing else. So good here from Maru. That will be the Nexus falling. Stats with a little bit of a mineral bank as well, but he's 40 supply down here.
Yeah. He had a huge bank, actually. Like, economy-wise, he was doing great. It's just that that overextension. Like, he was hitting his strong timing, but he didn't pull back early enough. He must have maybe misread a little bit the Viking count. There were not that many ghosts, so maybe Archons could have been helpful as well. But Maru with a great game here, I have to say, on map number 3 on Echo.
Stalker's trying to live on against the Bio. There's one Liberator in the mix there. I think he could actually got focused. No, the Vikings now land to say, shoot away, Stalkers. They will take that damage very, very quickly now that the Vikings are oh so strong against that. There you go. GG Maru takes game number 3 here and keeps himself alive at the Intel Extreme Masters.
or you rush that third base. We'll see which one he goes for.
All right, it's time now. Game number 4.
It was kind of like a crazy thought of like maybe someone does a bunch of carriers and like hopes to get lucky that the opponent's
already preparing for the potential of that Stargate to come along. He already had a Widowmine in spot, but he's actually going to pick everything up and head over here in a bit of a crazy situation if that Oracle is even to pop out soon. Head over there. Where's Nick when you need him for 2 passing ships in the night?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I think he's sleeping now.
There isn't bridges on the map to talk about, so he's taking a rest
That's
for
true.
now.
That's true. Adept's going to try and deal with this for the moment and just move out of the range of that Widowmine here. Marines can't really move too far forward, but
this
actually...
is what I was worried about. Yeah, Maru's just not ready for this.
Uh-oh.
Stats hasn't been using Stargates nearly as much as I personally was anticipating. I think Maru might have been hoping that there were not going to be a Stargate here. This one Oracle across the map already killed 6 SCVs.
And Phoenix is coming out here as well, so that medevac is going to be destined to die if it's not careful at all. I mean, it has to leave now, but here comes the Phoenix. So this is not a bad cleanup for Stats. Yeah. The 2 Hellions, though, heading into the main. Nice block.
Oh, so sick. And he gets the 2 Hellions as well. The only weakness of that build is that you're a little bit lackluster from Stats in detection, but he forced that Widowmine to burr away from his mineral line and he's now going to an observer. Stats
so
getting such a good start in this game. 39 probes to 24 SCVs now. No, it's all about like those Maru actually realize like he has to, I think, maybe do something special here to really recover in this game, because 25 SCVs to 45 probes with the third Nexus on the gold base on the way.
Yeah, yeah.
If you stand idle, if you
just picks them up, moves them away, there's Adepts. Trying to get even more workers here. Looks like the...
There you go, he's the new wing commander.
Yeah, I say it's not going to finish. It's about to finish. So, yeah, welcome to the caster's world. For that stim now about to finish up.
I mean, yeah, this can do quite a bit. As long as he keeps on microing it, goes around.
They're actually very good against this gold base location.
That's what I was talking about. That's what I thought Stats was unlikely to take the gold base, because as good as it is, economy-wise, when Terran sieges like this, he's just so hard to engage it to him.
But can he run him over? The Widowmines are doing a really good job of holding this position.
Can he shade him over?
Can he shade him over? Those turrets, though, are very clever as well here.
He has to go now, because if those turrets finish, it's going to be trouble for Stats, and I think he knows that.
Yeah, he's going to go for it as well. That Liberator already falls. Second one might fall very quickly as well to those Phoenix. There's not that many Marines here, not that much damage. The Colossi need to move up to support this ground force as quickly as possible, but there's really not many Marines left at all here to deal with this. The Void Ray is doing a lot as well, and with just a few more Stalkers, the little bit of the bio survives, but not enough to hold the tide.
And Stats bring the Observer very importantly here. He pushed the Terran back that misses mining again from that gold base, and it's just going to keep on making a ton of units there. I don't think Maru can ever go for a third base there. It's do or die. He has to somehow get more damage done and get rid of that gold base, but I'm looking at it.
Yeah, you are looking at it.
I am looking at it.
I'm looking at it too. It's crazy. This is very, very scary now for Maru. His life is on the line here in this tournament, and he is so down. So far down. He's going to have to make a miracle happen, Todd.
73 army supply to 34 Stats. Like I said, anytime he smells blood in the water, he's going to go for the kill, and he's pretty much always right for the most part.
He smells it, my friend. He's going to take down this wall very, very quickly, and now there is not very much left for Maru at all. The only thing he has available is the fact that those liberation zones are on the ramp. But even that alone against this army won't be enough. He's going to go with that Guardian Shield as well. Already be thrown at. SCV's coming off the line. The Bioforce is trying to do its best on the left-hand side. There's actually not that great a position for Stats at all, because a lot of his army isn't firing at the back.
Yeah, he has way too much.
So much here. So much available for Stats. GG. He takes it, and he moves on to the round of 4.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next videos.